Tennis is a truly amazing sport. It was discovered in the later part of the 19th century and has continued to grow ever since. Today, we shall hear the thoughts of one of the best players in the history of the sport, Novak Djokovic, as he talks about the challenges faced by current players and speaks about how he intends to compete against and defeat developing stars like Carlos Alcaraz. Let's get into it, shall we? Tennis was originally known as lawn tennis and began in Europe. A few years later, it spread to the United States. Since then, more nations have embraced the sport. The peak growth period of tennis was the years between 1960 to 1979. There are many reasons for the global followership of the sport from this period onward. For one, the major championships such as Wimbledon became open to professionals and amateurs. Also, television broadcasts of the US Open, Wimbledon, French, and Australian Open played a part in the growth of the sport. In addition to the establishment of new tournaments and television broadcasting of matches, innovations of players' fashion and the modifications to playing equipment fueled the boom. All these aside, the biggest reason for the global popularity of tennis during this period in question was the rise of exceptional talents and the rivalries between them. Both the male and female circuits showcased interesting matches between rivals that had fans on the edge of their seats. Some of the notable names during this golden era included Australian Margaret Smith Court and her rival Billie Jean King, John McEnroe, and Bjorn Borg. Miss Court was the second woman to win a Grand Slam in 1970 and set a record for singles, doubles, and mixed doubles titles in 4 championships. Her record stands at 65 trophies, including 3 Wimbledon, 6 US Open titles, 5 French Open, and 11 Australian singles, all acquired between 1960 to 1975.
People don't always remember your victories.
Matched. Court's rivalry with Billie Jean King was the highlight of most tennis tournaments during their time. Both women met 32 times, with Court winning 22 times. The next major rivalry in this area between John McEnroe and Bjorn Borg. Their matchup was compelling because they were the best players from the 1970s to 1980s. Both players met 14 times. Bjorg is the first player to win 5 straight Wimbledon titles. His record stands at 64 tournaments in singles with 88 final appearances. Till this day, Borg remains one of the best players to ever hit a tennis ball in a competitive game. On the other hand, McEnroe won 77 singles titles and 72 doubles competitions. He was the first player to be ranked number 1 in both categories. Aside from these legends, other tennis stars such as Steffi Graf, Monica Seles, Andrea Agassi, and Pete Sampras brought varying levels of excitement during the 1990s. One thing you can't take away from sports is the element of surprise. Often events unfold in ways you can't imagine. True to many predictions, the later period of the 20th century brought a dull moment in tennis. But we were about to see the rise of some extraordinarily talented players. These players have nearly broken every record set by their predecessors. First among the present generation is the Swiss master Roger Federer. The Swiss-born tennis superstar had become a global sensation by the year 2000, 2 years after he turned professional. Federer played a precise, fast, and exciting style of tennis that made some of his predecessors look like amateurs. His record stands at 103 singles with an 82% winning ratio. Also called the King of Grass because of his exploits at Wimbledon, Federer made tennis even more popular than it already was. The second giant, Rafael Nadal, the biggest rival to Federer, took the tennis world by storm. Nadal is excellent on the clay courts, especially at the French Open, hence the reason why he is often called the King of Clay. Nadal's record stands at 92 singles titles. He is the only tennis player to win all Grand Slams including the Australian Open, Wimbledon, US Open, and French Open in a single year. The last of the 3 modern giants in tennis is Novak Djokovic. The Serbian style can be described as a blend of Federer and Nadal. He is exceptional on hard courts. Djokovic has won 90 singles titles since his professional debut in 2003. He is the only male player to hold all 4 majors and the year-ending championship at the same time. Djokovic has won all major titles at least twice. Fans of the female category didn't miss out on new talents as well. The rise of inspirational tennis siblings, Venus and Serena Williams, remains one of the biggest things to happen to the sport. The sisters combined speed, talent, dedication, and power to dominate the female circuit for over 2 decades now. Both sisters have won a combined 122 titles, with Venus at 49 and Serena at 73. They are the only 2 women since the Open era, 1968, to compete in 4 consecutive major finals. Serena Williams is only behind Margaret Court when it comes to Grand Slams. She has won an astonishing 23 slams. Other worthy players in this period brought a level of excitement when they played. Players such as Stan Wawrinka, Maria Sharapova, Andy Murray, Maria Sakkari, and Jessica Pegula have made their mark on the sport. Sadly, these players are aging and true fans of the sport are beginning to wonder if this means the end. Will the present-day giants be able to compete with new players? The good thing about sports is their dynamism. Every sport evolves to reach a wider audience in more places. Tennis is no different. The sport has devised several ways to evolve and accommodate a wider audience. One way the sport will evolve is through the appearance of future stars such as Carlos Alcaraz. Carlos Alcaraz began his professional career in 2018. Since then, he has won 6 ATP Tour singles titles and 2 Masters titles. He is the youngest ever men's world #1 at the age of 19 years old. Also, Alcaraz is the first teenager in the Open era to rank #1 in the men's circuit. Another future star, Coco Gauff,
Call me Coco,
became a professional player in 2018. Her physical style is similar to that of Serena Williams, so many expect her to reach similar heights as the famous American. The early records of her career suggest that this expectation may not be misplaced, especially after she defeated Venus Williams in the first round of Wimbledon in 2019. Coco is currently ranked #4 in the ATP women's ranking. Fans should always look forward to new stars because they will have better equipment. They will also learn new skills. With innovations in fashion, training means the future stars will take the game to new heights. Although some players such as Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, and Dominic Thiem are aging and can't win forever, they remain as motivated as ever to compete for the biggest prizes in the sport. In a recent interview, Djokovic spoke about his determination to remain at the top for as long as possible. He also shared his resolve to compete with future stars, but was also quick to share his admiration for the upcoming players. Although Djokovic was the only one interviewed, he may not be alone in the line of thought, as a similar statement has been made by Rafael Nadal a few months before. Djokovic went on to share his views on what the new stars will bring to the sport, saying, "So I think it is something that is inevitable to happen after more than 15 years of domination by Nadal, Roger Federer, myself, Andy Murray, Stan Wawrinka, and Juan Martín del Potro. These players have been leading the game, and of course, the next generation will come along." Djokovic also spoke about future stars breaking the record set by the current generation. He thinks that new players such as Carlos Alcaraz have the talent to accomplish this and take the game to new heights. So what does that mean for fans? Well, Djokovic shared his optimism that tennis will continue to attract fans. If history has taught us anything, it is that we have to agree with him. Most people now can't imagine watching a Grand Slam without any of the current stars playing. However, it happened before to older fans who thought the sport was dead without Borg, Sampras, Agassi, or Becker playing. The rivalry between the future and the current stars will be interesting and exciting as well. One thing we know for sure is that the current players are not afraid of adapting their style if it allows them to remain at the top. On the other hand, future stars have to show dedication and follow the path of hard work like current stars did during their younger days. Whether they can maintain their focus remains to be seen. All the fans can do is sit back and watch as events unfold in the future. Thanks for watching this video. We hope you like it. If you did, like and subscribe to the channel for more quality content like this one. Goodbye for now.